What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Classic Chronicles. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend and is ready to conquer the week that is, man. Listen, we're just gonna get right into it today, and we're gonna talk about AEW All Out. Now, for the last 3 weeks on the channel, I've been covering a lot of wrestling, and that's because the events that I've been covering from All in London to WWE No Mercy to what I'm about to cover now, AEW All Out, have been running consecutive in the last 3 weeks. Man, there hasn't been a weekend in the last month that hasn't had wrestling. So what a great time it is to be a wrestling fan and for the business as a whole. And with that, let's get into what went down this past Saturday night at All Out, man. So there was three matches on the pre-show. I did not catch the pre-show, but I did catch the entire I did catch the pay per view itself, so I'm just gonna be going over the pay per view. So first up was a very personal matchup featuring MJF taking on Daniel Garcia. Man, the story leading here is MJF tried to take out Danny Garcia, tried to end his career by breaking his neck a few weeks ago on Dynamite, AEW Dynamite, and Daniel Garcia was out for revenge. These two went back and forth verbally, and MJF's Dynamite Diamond Ring was uh, stolen in real life, but in storyline, they said that Daniel Garcia pawned it to get a flight to London to cost MJF the All American Championship against Will Ospreay, and that continues the feud there. So fast forward 2 weeks later to All Out last night, and these two went to war, man. They both worked on each other's necks, and in the end, MJF was able to get the best of Daniel Garcia, but not before. But at the end of the night, it was Daniel Garcia standing tall after delivering a top rope pile driver, much like MJF did to MJF, and this was done as a way to kind of get MJF off of TV for a while because he's set to shoot a movie, so that kind of writes him off for a while and gives him the time that he needs to go do that. Anyway, phenomenal opener to All Out. Um, next up, it was the Young Bucks retaining the not the ring oh my god, retaining the AEW World Tag Team Championships against two-thirds of the AEW Trios champions, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Um, Again, very good back and forth match. But in the end, the Young Bucks were able to get the best of Claudio and Wheeler Yuta, and they have nothing to hang their heads about. It was just a great match. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta have nothing to hang their heads about. Uh, next up, oh man, this next up was a hell of a match for the AEW International Championship as Will Ospreay made his first title defense since taking it from MJF, as I alluded to earlier, against the Bastard Pack, man, and these two just went at it. This was a their first encounter. Their first encounter back in 2018, I believe, was a 30-minute time limit draw, but this one did not disappoint either. And in the end, Will Ospreay was able to defeat Pac and retain his AEW International Championship. But Pac is a hell of a wrestler, man. He can pretty much do it all: high flying submission, pretty much everything. And then after the match, backstage, Ricochet, who has been a longtime friend and opponent of Will Ospreay, stated his intentions to go for the AEW International Championship. So we'll have to see where that goes. Next up, the women were spotlighted in a Chicago street fight, pitting Willow Nightingale against former friend, tag team partner Chris Statlander. Two Long Island girls going at it, representing AEW, man. And a lot of people thought that this was going to be. A lot of people thought that this, was going to be one of the weaker matches on the card, and that certainly was not the case. These two women left it all out there, especially having to follow Pac and Will Ospreay is a very, very tall order, and these women definitely lived up to it. Props to Chris Statlander for doing a split onto thumbtacks. That must have hurt like hell. Yeah, and like I said, these two women just went to war, and in the end, Chris Statlander was able to defeat Willow Nightingale, picking up the win. All right. Next up after that, it was a fatal four-way match for the AEW Continental Championship, pitting Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Konosuke Takeshita to face the AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada, man. Very, very fun four-way match. Man, just seeing Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy tear it up in the ring, and just all four competitors. And but the main storyline coming out of this was we definitely need a one-on-one match with Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada somewhere in the very, very near future, man. That oh my god, that is pure entertainment, and I cannot wait to see it whenever it does happen. Anyway, Kazuchika Okada picked up the win and is still the AEW Continental Champion. Next up, it was your first of two main events. The AEW World Championship was on the line as brand new champion Bryan Danielson, coming off of his victory against Swerve Strickland at AEW All In London, defended the title against current TNT champion and member of the Elite, the Scapegoat, Jack Perry. What do you call it? So again, very, very good match. Jack Perry definitely held his own in there against one of the best wrestlers in the world in Bryan Danielson, and so major props. The ending to the match was a little bit dicey. The Young Bucks came out to try and aid Jack Perry in trying to win the AEW World Championship, but that was not to be because the Blackpool Combat Club, consisting of Wheeler Yuta, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and apparently Pac now, came out to thwart the Young Bucks' efforts, helping to aid Bryan Danielson in picking up the win against Jack Perry and retaining his AEW World Championship. But the biggest story coming out of that matchup is the turning of the Blackpool Combat Club, with the exception of Wheeler Yuta, on Bryan Danielson. Jon Moxley has been on this crusade the last couple of weeks, stating how this is not Tony Khan's company anymore. He's going to do everything he can to try to take AEW to the next level, and he's recruited Marina Shafir And so far, and now he has the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, and Pac on his side to further aid in his in John Moxley's efforts to take over, to try and take initiate a hostile takeover of AEW. So that was really, that was really unexpected. And also the method was very unexpected in the way that John Moxley did it. I mean, he literally choked out Bryan Danielson with a plastic bag over his head, and I found that it's storyline, people. Let's not sit here and act like John Moxley literally choked the guy out. But anyway, what do you call it? Um, I find that kind of ironic that it happened that way, seeing as Bryan Danielson is a very big environmentalist, and so he kind of hates plastic. So I found that kind of ironic that John Moxley would use that method to incapacitate the AEW World Champion. But anyway, we definitely have to see how that goes. Bryan Danielson has stated multiple times that his in-ring career is winding down. And the next time that when he loses the AEW World Championship, that is when his career is going to end. So we'll have to see what that happens, and it looks like John Moxley will be his next opponent. And if this upcoming match is like any of their other encounters, especially the one in AEW at Revolution 2022, I believe it was, is going to be a hell of a matchup. And so that technically was your main event of the evening, but there was one match left on the card, and that was a lights out steel cage match between Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page, man. So basically, what a lights out match is that it's non-sanctioned. It can go for as long as it needs to go. No pinfalls, no submissions. Whoever wins the match, it doesn't count on their It doesn't go on their record. It's just It's non-sanctioned by AEW. AEW is not responsible for what happens during these lights out matches. So that's what happened with this steel cage match, and it was brutal in every sense of the word. I mean, Swerve and Hangman, they were literally they were literally out for blood and everything else, man. I mean, there was what wasn't in this match. I mean, like wooden spikes, cinder blocks, the use of the steel cage as a weapon, man. Everybody was bleeding all over, and what the ending of the match was, aside from the suplex on an actual cinder block, man. The ending of the match was something that I have never seen in either watching professional wrestling or my years in the ring, man. Hangman Adam Page basically took the gold grill out of Swerve's mouth, and injected him with a syringe, which he kind of fish hooked to Swerve Strickland. Put it like you would hook a fish. When you're fishing, how that looks. But he did that with a syringe, and basically just took Swerve Strickland just took an unprotected chair shot in every sense of the word, and that was the final blow of the evening. And oh my God, it was absolutely insane. And I have stated multiple times on this channel that I never took, and I never will take, an unprotected chair shot to the head, man. It's just dangerous, and could cause all kinds of problems and everything like that. I understand it was for the purposes of the story, But nah, for me there would have to be another way to progress that. There's multiple ways that you can end a match in a much safer manner than taking an unprotected chair shot to the head. But hey, uh, major props to Swerve and for taking that shot, and Adam Page, man, for taking care of Swerve as about as well as you can with a shot like that. But anyway, man, that was AEW All Out. What a phenomenal pay per view. You can say, like I said in the last review, and I say in a lot of AEW pay per view reviews that I do, you can say what you want about the weekly product, but AEW rarely, if ever, misses on pay per view, and All Out was no exception. Next up, I believe next up is AEW Grand Slam, which is here in New York, and I'll probably be at that. Who knows? But for as far as pay per view goes, next up we have Wrestle Dream in October in Tacoma, Washington. So we'll have to see how that card shapes out over the next month. But yeah, anyway, that is going to do it for this episode of the Classic Chronicles. Like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit that notification button so you don't miss a video. And of course, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.